This video, I want to talk a little bit about Brainstorm. So I brought up a question early in the, at the very beginning of this set of lectures, talking about the Brainstorm. And what we saw was that the Brainstorm research suggests that people produce fewer ideas and less unique ideas than individuals would do if they brainstormed alone. We thought about, like, why was this and could this be better? So hopefully you've seen through some of the, basically asking questions, are brainstorm groups effective? Well, if we ask the questions of effective for whom or effective at what, we might get to a different place. So the first thing is, if we look in the literature, in the social psychological literature, they talk about the different things that will get in the way of brainstorm groups. Emotional constraints, and they're using some similar language to the language that we've been using. Information processing, the group's culture, those things. In fact, if we just go right to the constraints I've been talking about, emotion constraints, how does we feel about being a part of a group, culture constraints, how it is that we know what to do in a group, the environment constraints, where it is we decide to do that, and the process constraints, the orders within which we do things, and our ability to know which behaviors are required at which time, we can actually get past that stuff. We can brainstorm, make brainstorms valuable and not just a pain. So when we brainstorm, there are some really good things that come out of brainstorming. One, you can support organizational memory. There's getting people together so that they can remember what they know. Right? And so when people are brainstorming, throwing out weird and interesting ideas, you begin to know who knows what. And that's organizational memory. That's important. You may provide skill variety for people, that people who are normally sitting at their desk doing their, slogging away at their work, that they could actually get to do something different, that they get to do this brainstorm. It's fun. It has a different sense of what's important in the organization, a learning attitude that you can support that. You can get people to say, hey, brainstorming is important, we're learning, we're trying to understand things. Some organizations use brainstorms to impress their clients or outsiders. Hey, look at this, isn't this really fun? Don't we do things in a really interesting way? Brainstorms can also make idea collection easier. That is, if you have people in a brainstorm room and they're all putting their ideas up, collecting those ideas are easier. It's all in one place versus having people out in lots of little rooms everywhere else. Sometimes we don't want the most unique idea. Sometimes we want commitment. Sometimes we want to know which is the most acceptable idea. Sometimes we want to know which is the easiest idea. And in that case, having the most unique ideas doesn't necessarily help us. But all these things, in the end, require a good process. And so again, if you're going to brainstorm, you need to brainstorm using a good process. So if you're thinking about enhancing team creativity in your organization, here's the takeaways. Proper tools, facilities, the environment, follow the rules of brainstorming, use them. Set high benchmarks and standards for what creativity is and for how it is you use it. Again, the organizational memory, use that. You know now what people know and you know how they know it. Bring that in. Get different kinds of people. Go grab people from parts of the organization that aren't normally there. Get outsiders to come in. Bring new information. Always be bringing new information in the team, either as an individual or through people, through different kinds of people. Give a team a playroom, sort of a sandbox, a place where they can put all their stuff up on the walls and live there and be part of that group during that time. And then from a process perspective, you want people to generate ideas, to assess those ideas, and implement those ideas in separate process phases in different times and places. Okay? So, brainstorming rules, here are some rules and process. Use these as you do your idea generation and your idea build for your project, for your innovation project for the class. And I think these will help you get along, and we'll be poking around in the forums and see if I can help if you're having any problems with that at all.